Hey there. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you've seen a few videos, well then you know this isn't the same truck I've been working on. So I recently purchased an upgrade. I went to the 22 Limited LTZ Silverado with the Duramax engine. I really liked the 3-liter diesel, so I stayed with it. So in this video I'm going to kind of give you some first impressions and walk you through some of the changes that I've noticed between the 20 and the 22. I guess first thing I've noticed when I first got the GMC, it was very soft as far as a ride was concerned. So I don't know if they've updated spring rates or shock valving or something, but they've done something where this one doesn't ride like an old 70s boat down the road anymore. It actually rides pretty good for a truck. And I don't believe I'm going to replace the shocks on this one. One of the other things that I've noticed right away is that the starter is different. It sounds different when you start it up. It's as if the starter spins faster. So I don't know if I know they had some other issues going on in the previous years with the starter and long starts. So I don't know if they changed that, but that is one of the things that I noticed that's different. Something that goes along with that is the auto stop and start. So if in the previous truck that I had that had the Duramax in it, when you would come to a stop, and the engine stopped, it seemed like it took a second longer once you let off the brake for the engine to start and engage. This one seems to be a lot quicker, so maybe they've had some other additions to the software. Maybe something in the transmission has changed, torque converter, something. It just seems to go a lot quicker from the auto stop start. So I'll go through some of the other things that I've noticed on the truck. Obviously, design-wise between the two, they're very similar. However, Chevy and GMC have their differences. GMC obviously has a different front end on it. This one, it's a matter of personal taste. I like the GMC. I like the Chevy. I think they both look good in their own right. That's one of the major differences, obviously. Back in 20, GMC had the multi-function tailgate. I believe it was in 21 they came out with it here for Chevy in 21. And that is that multi-flex tailgate where you have the two-step, the two version, the two-button tailgate. Haven't had an option to or need to use it yet, but we shall see. This truck has the shorter bed. I had the standard bed. This is the short bed. But this one does have the spray-in bed liner, which I really appreciate for when I'm hauling all the goodies in for the yard and such. Next thing I'd like to do is go through some of the interior stuff. This one, being that it is the full-size cab, it does have I should say, crew cab, not full-size cab. It has the 4 full-size doors, gives you the much larger back seat, which is nice. You get the center armrest, which I didn't have before. And this one, you may have seen that before, where you have the storage in the back seat. That's pretty nice. This one also comes with the under seat storage, which is handy to have. And if you look at the cutouts there, I'd imagine those must be for your guns or fishing poles. But gives you some nice storage options. In the last truck I had, I put in the Kicker upgraded stereo speaker in the back. And if I want to do it again on this one, I would have to remove that. So I'm not sure. This truck doesn't have the Bose stereo in it, so it leaves me wanting when it comes to the stereo itself. So I may do that in the future. The GMC also came with all-weather mats. This is the Z71, so I don't know if that makes it a different set of mats, but these all-weather mats interlock in the middle and are substantially better than what came in the GMC. These ones, I would say, are similar to what you would get with a WeatherTech package, because it provides complete protection from edge to edge. You can see it goes up on the edge there, which I like, so I won't be doing that upgrade in here. Some other things in the interior. So I understand that there are differences when people buy a Chevy and a GMC. GMC is meant to be more of a upgrade, I guess, over the truck, over the Chevy Silverado. And one of the things that they did was, on all these knobs in GMC, they're chrome. And in here they're kind of a black plastic. I wouldn't say they're soft and squishy, but it's just a texturized, different texture feel. And in the GMC, I always thought those chrome knobs looked a little cheap, a little cheesy. And so actually I prefer this. I think Chevy got it right in this one. The differences in the knob texture and look. There's also some difference in the gauges. It took me a second to figure that out. When I first got in here, I was looking at the gauges and wondering why it looked different. And that is because the gauges here in the Silverado are very circular. And in the GMC, they were more of the squircle, where they were kind of a half square or angular in some way. And if you pay attention to the wheel arches, you may notice the same thing, right? In the Silverado, they're more of a round, a normal shape, and on the GMC, they are somewhat angular. And so those are some of the styling differences between the two, but they carried that same theme over to the interior. One of the other things that I like about this one over the GMC that I had is that this one has the center console, the full center console. It's handy. You get this giant 5-gallon bucket size storage thing, and that'll be probably one of the first things I do, is figure out how to organize that a little better. The seats, very supportive, pretty comfortable, and I prefer the buckets. It just gives a little bit more freedom between the two occupants, but it also gives you a lot more storage here in the center. Some of the other things that I've noticed, and I noticed this on the Corvette, probably one of my favorite features that I'm glad Chevy put into the pickups, or at least is now available, is that you can walk away and in about 15 seconds it'll lock. So when you're using the keyless system, you never take the key out of your pocket. You always have the option of just walking away or walking up to it and locking it. So those are some of my initial impressions on the truck. And if you've seen some of my videos before, I do some upgrades to it. I don't do things wild. I like to keep things subtle between stock and my projects. I guess if you watch Top Gear and you hear James May's battle cry, it's standard. So I like to keep mine looking as standard as possible. Some of the things that I'll probably do are a leveling kit on the front, running boards, and we'll see what other kind of projects I may spring to mind. Who knows? They again, it just depends on what I like to do and what I want to get done, and how to make my truck a little better for what I like to use it for. So those are my initial impressions on the Silverado LTZ. Thanks for watching.